Good morning, everyone. I am talking to you from the Great Hoboken Public Library. This is Art at Home with Liz, and I want to thank all of the folks who came here in person, as well as all of you folks who are enjoying Art with Liz at home. We are so incredibly grateful to the Hoboken Library for allowing us to have this hybrid art experience. Those of you who can from the comfort of your home, and those of you who are able to come in person here at the library. It really opens up a lot of opportunity for art for everyone during this time of pandemic. It's pretty fab. You're very, very lucky to have the Hoboken Library sponsoring this class. Today, this is the second or third class of August. I believe it's the second August class. And our theme for August is summer fun. We're going to continue in that vein with an artist named Theresa Harris. And I'm going to start by talking a bit about her life. Then we're going to look at pictures of her work. And then I'm going to give you your assignment for today. There are going to be some options, as always, but we will have Bill here modeling for us. So primary for me is to give you the opportunity to draw from life. Before we begin the lesson, though, I want to talk about one very exciting thing first. The library is going to host another tiny art exhibit. And many of the students in this class were in the first one, which just had its opening last week. And now we're going to have another one celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th, 2022. Laura, do you have the supplies available yet?
That you will have in front of you, email Ethan. I believe you're going to be, some of you may already still have those paints that you received the first time. You can use them. If you need anything else, just email Ethan and he'll help.
Okay, is Ethan's email address info@Hoboken? Okay. And I will put Ethan's address in the chat box for those of you at home. Ethan is the person that you contact for information about getting supplies. Everyone will get their own tiny canvas and their own tiny easel and a set of paints and brushes to create your own tiny art exhibit. And the show celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month, so I'm assuming that Ethan is looking for art about Hispanic heritage. Good. The other thing I want to talk briefly about, I brought two different kinds of paper today, and one is smooth. That's the paper, everyone, that I want you to use for pencil drawing. The other paper, and I know this is a refresher for a lot of you, the other paper is textured and bumpy, and I prefer that you use this just for watercolor. And those of you here, that's available on the back counter. All right, so let's start with me sharing a screen. Oh, Laura, you need to enable the sharing capability, please. Thank you. Theresa Harris is such an interesting artist. She's new to me. I don't know why I never found her before. I think you're going to like her. Those of you who are with me at the Multipurpose Center yesterday, this is kind of a continuation, a visual continuation of the Hockney pieces that we looked at yesterday. And you'll see why in a minute. We were looking yesterday at paintings of swimming pools by the great British artist David Hockney. I don't want to talk too much about him today because we will be talking more about him in the final class in August here during Art with Liz at the library. And those of you who looked at his work at the Multipurpose Center, we're going to look at Hockney's work in a whole different new way when we do the library class. So it will be a repeat of Hockney, but from a different angle. And here's Bill.
Morning.
Right on cue. So the model is in the house and Laura is setting up screen share for me. Okay. Good. Taking a minute. Bill is already oohing and eyeing. I love an appreciative audience. Thank you, Bill. And here we go. So Tracy Harris was born in 1958 in Oklahoma. She is an American girl through and through. She grew up in Dallas, Texas, and then her family was an army family. So she lived throughout Asia, Honolulu, Guam, Manila, and Thailand. She attended Southern Methodist University and received a BFA and an MFA degree in 1983. She did it all. She did her MFA in 1 year. That's pretty wonderful. And for those of you who may not know, BFA stands for Bachelor of Fine Arts, and MFA is a Master of Fine Arts. After college, she worked at the Dallas Museum of Art and taught painting. Her work is at the Dallas Museum, and through her work there, she met the artist Dan Flavin. And to make a long story short, they fell in love and married. Dan Flavin, if you don't know him, is what we call a minimalist artist. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about Flavin. He used neon to create fantastic light sculptures. In fact, you can go see his work right here in Jersey City at Manna Contemporary. I can get the address for you of Manna. My studio's there, but I always forget the exact address, and I'll put that in the chat for you. They had apparently a very wonderful romantic relationship, and they married in the Guggenheim Museum, and they lived between Long Island, New York, and Greenwich, Connecticut. Unfortunately, 4 years later, he died from complications of diabetes. So the marriage was short, but loving. All right, so her work is collected by numerous museums. She is quite well known in her own right, but her work is completely different from Flavin's. Okay, I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to take a second to put Flavin's name in the chat box. Oh, and thank you, Laura. Put Ethan's email address in the chat. So those of you who are interested in the Tiny Art Show, please email Ethan for more information. In a list. All right, now, are we ready to look at her work? Yeah. And you're going to see immediately, those of you who know Hockney, you're going to see the connection right away. And I chose Harris because here we are in the heat of summer, and what is the first thing that comes to my mind anyway during the summer months, but swimming. When it's hot and steamy, the first thing I want to do is jump in a pool. Harris has this fascination with the female figure. She primarily paints women, and she has this enormous series of women in retro bathing suits. She copies her images from old photographs from like the 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's very important to her to connect the past with the present. The other interesting thing about Harris is you never see the entire face of the woman. She wants to keep the emotional content negligible in her paintings. For her, the image is all about color, shape, shadow. And look at the composition. Pretty amazing. This white diving board just jutting out into the expanse of blue space. And then the absolutely breathtaking figure of the woman taking flight off the edge of the diving board. This beautiful use of white on the edge of the diving board, and then white along the edge of her body, and of course in the bathing cap. What do you think? Really, I think it's really beautiful. Theresa Savage Harris. Definitely realistic, almost super photographically realistic in her representation. I would place her in the category of pop art. There's almost an advertising illustration quality to her work, more than fine art. Now, she has been compared to the German artist Gerhard Richter, which is kind of interesting. Visually, there are similarities, but for me, Richter's work is incredibly emotional. I'm going to put his work in his name in the chat for all of you to look him up. We'll have to do him one day.
Liz, do you mean when you look at a Richter painting, either the abstract or the photographic-like painting, you feel sadness, or you feel happiness, or you feel, what do you feel?
I have a lot of emotions when I look at his work. Frequently isolation, loneliness, a little bit of depression. And he's done a lot of paintings about World War II and the Holocaust. Even some of his abstractions are referring back to that period of history. He's a German who has tried to deal with all of his emotional baggage about World War II. I'm not sure I spelled it correctly. Gerhard might end in the letter T. Lauren, you're my favorite researcher. If you have a minute to check it out, could you do that for us?
What am I? I'm sorry.
Gerhard Richter. How do you spell his first name? I put his name in the chat box, but I think his first name ends in the letter T.
Yes. Okay. You got it. Just give me a sec.
Thank you. All right, here's the next. Theresa Savage Harris. Everybody at home, you can see these? Yes, good. Again, extraordinary composition. You don't see the full face of the swimmer, although this one has a real deep sense of calm and serenity, I think. But I love that half of her body is chopped off. Makes for a really fascinating composition. The fact that her left arm runs off the edge of the page makes for this beautiful negative shape in the upper right-hand corner. Really cool. And the really fabulous thing about this kind of composition is you get this sense of movement. You know that she's not static. She's going to keep floating in the water and eventually go off the edge of the canvas entirely. In real life anyway, but she's kind of frozen in time in the painting. Remember, those of you at home or here, if you have comments to make, please, you don't have to wait on ceremony. You can just unmute or call out. And again, very strong horizontals and verticals.
Oil, acrylic? colored
I think
pencil?
she's an acrylic. Look at that red cap. Isn't that amazing? It really, really pops. And those of you loose, working with perspective, look at the horizon line. When you do landscape, you've got to have that horizon line. Okay. A couple more. It's a particular favorite. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of information about her, Heather. So I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you. This one, Edward Hopper. Am I right? Those of you who've done Edward Hopper with me or who know Edward Hopper, this one screams Edward Hopper for me. That it does have a sense of loneliness, doesn't it? Singularity. Again, very geometric. Look at this triangle of negative space here. The strong, I don't know, what would you call this? Vertical or diagonal of the diving board. And then the fantastic horizontal of the horizon line. But that red bathing suit is what makes this painting. And she had the guts to go red and go wild. I love the shadow of the swimmer underneath. That really powers up the figure as well.
Liz, I don't believe we're on the same picture on our screen, possibly,
That's interesting.
unless it's my computer. She doesn't have a red bathing suit.
Yeah, it is a different picture.
Okay. I have all of them open, so. What does your picture look like?
She had almost a, looked almost like a tie-dye bathing suit, like a little iridescent blue, deep blues.
Wondering if she's seated?
She was seated, yeah, on like near the pool with her legs crossed bent, knees bent. Yeah, that one. But her head's cut off.
We can't see it. That's interesting. Oh, it must be this one. Okay. I can enlarge it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this also. Now, the interesting thing for me, when I see parts of the female body cut off in advertising, it's distressing to me because I find it objectionable. But in this woman's paintings, in Tracy Sylvester Harris's paintings, I find it intriguing and mysterious. The fact that she does not want us to see their faces makes me want to look at the painting even more. I hate the chopped up images in advertising. Like, you can sell alcohol or cars just by showing a woman's legs. That bothers me.
This looks like a photo shoot, too. Like, I wouldn't say Victoria's Secret, but.
It does. It does. And remember, though, these are vintage photos that she's working from. So this is the way women sat back in the day. I have many pictures of my mother sitting like this, you know, kind of modest, but also kind of seductive.
I really like how almost like a painting, you have really strong shadow that connect the red to the body.
Yes. Great observations, Esty and Pat. Yeah, I too love this dark shadow, Pat. It's really a beautiful shade. And the white negative space next to this dark shadow is really beautiful. And when you draw from life today, don't forget to use things like elbows and knees as measuring tools. Look at the relationship of her elbow to her kneecap here. Those will help you. Look at where her hands are, wrapped around the front of her knee. Those are really helpful tools. All right. What are we? Are we around 10:30 yet? Yeah. So I think we've looked at enough of her images. Here are our assignments for today. Sketching Bill. I know Bill is not a lady in a bathing suit, but he is a great model, and we are fortunate to have him here. We have the option of sketching Bill, which I'm thrilled about. We will start with our warm-up sketches, as always, and progress to longer poses. I recommend that you start with light pencil drawings, and then I have here at the library, there are many media in color, including watercolor, if you want to try it out today. But I would save the colored media until the longer poses. And those of you at home, I would offer the same advice. The other option is if you have vintage photographs of women in 1930s, 40s, or 50s bathing attire, you can work from those photos. The challenge with those kind of photos is the image is small. And when you work from tiny pictures, it really is very difficult to keep your proportions correct. But if you're not worried about accuracy and precision today, it might be fun to look at those old photos and work from them. All right, any questions about what we're doing today? You have a few minutes to gather up your materials, and then we will begin. Bill is going to get in position, and we will take it away. No questions? Let me check the chat. Oh, I did spell Richter's name correctly. Good for me. Thanks, Lauren.
do you think? I'll pose.
You ready, Bill?
Yes.
Let me start the timer, everyone. And close the chat. So this is a 3-minute warm up. It's going to be more like 4 minutes by the time I get this thing ready. Sorry about that, Bill. And begin. All right, look at where his hands are in relationship to his chest. His elbows are next to his waist. Look at the length of his arms. Shoulder, the elbow, one elbow, mid arm, one head. Almost 4 head lengths to the tips of his fingers, 3.5 head lengths. Don't cheat him on the arms and legs. And we determined his legs are very long, 4 head lengths long. I was taught like that. I would say I should have recommended this. With the vertical pose like this, I would turn the paper vertically. But do it. Notice that his hips are a little bit apart. Right? He's a little bit higher than his legs. Buttons on his shirt. His wrist is right at that third button. That might help. Loose at this point. Trying not to clutch up. Trying to warm up. Learn to see what's in front of us. Yep. Another breathing. Start. Begin. Where his hands are. Wrists and elbows. His neck is stretched a little bit forwards. slope is back. We're actually in a great spot. It's difficult, but it's a great location for this boat. You too, Jane. Look at where that elbow is. Mm. Mm. Shoulder, Theresa, the shoulders almost up his chin, not quite. And spend more time looking, no, less time that you're drawing it. This is warm up. This is not making the perfect picture. 36 seconds. Okay. Another 3 minutes. Friday. This is a challenging pose for everyone. Go ahead, begin. Time's running. Great for staff. It's interesting, folks at home. Now the pose has started for folks at home. One minute, girl. Oh God, it's beautiful from this side. Those people who are here, you can always stand up and move to another location. You have something to lean on. Presses back. Making stuff. One more. This is the last 3 minutes. We don't care what your drawing looks like at this point, everybody. Everybody begin. Start, go. There's started the timer, Bill. Good. It's a good one. Look at where his hands are. Where's elbows are right in his waist. Look at those long legs. Knees are both at the same level. Too much. The right knee may be slightly higher. Yeah, it is. Right. The right knee is a little bit higher, especially for folks on this side. Look at the length of his hand and feet. That will help. Don't worry about the wrinkles in the pants now, or the shirt, or the gingham check. None of that is important now. Try and capture the outline of the figure. The gesture, the movement of his body. Don't care about the shape of his ears or any of those details now. Just try and see the size of his arms and legs and head. Length of his torso. Good. Try and hold the pencil loose. Hold it like the eraser when I do these kinds of drawings. So that my arm flows. Almost done, and we're done. Okay, so now we're going to try some 5-minute poses. Again, I want you to start with the loose gestural thing and then go back and details. Remember doing this right. You can hold this for 5 minutes. That's better. Okay, people are getting more paper, so we're gonna wait a second for people again. And I just want to show one thing, if you don't mind, Bill, I want to show them the length of your torso. No, this is good. So head lengths from the bottom of the neck, 1, 2, more. It's got to be 3, almost 3 head lengths. He's a little truncated now because he's slouched. All right, so try and see this length. See this length, then the length of the arms and the legs make a lot more sense. All right. And begin 5 minutes. Again, at this point, forget the checks and the buttons and the shape of the ear and the way his hair looks and the wrinkles. And just try and capture the proportions of the figure. Thanks, Laura. This is Laura the best. Woo! Adjusting the lighting for us. Thank you. Good. Keep it loose. Don't press hard with the pencil. Always go back and make it dark. It's always too bright. That's everybody else. How's the lighting? Right? Too bright. Really nice colors, Bill. Thank you. So again, I and see these kinds of relationships where his fingers are next to his thigh, where his thumb is next to his thigh. Look how big the hand is. And on this side too. Almost as big as his thigh. Pretty cool. That kind of relationship will help you see proportion. And his elbow, his waist, look at that distance. It's all about distance and space. Don't worry about making it right or perfect. It's not our goal right now. I don't care if you produce just the massive scribbles. Right now it's about looking, trying to see. Great. Class with one get better and better and better. Awesome. So good. Oh, and I forgot to announce yesterday. Bill is going to be taking over from me at the Multi-Service Center next week. He's going to be your teacher. He's got a great lesson for you. So Bill, another 5 minutes? Another 5 minutes, everyone? Bill, are you going to model it? No. He's multi-talented, but we can't ask him to do both. All right. Just
I can try. Yeah. How's that, sir?
Can you hold that for 5 minutes? Sure. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Let's begin.
Working those arms, baby.
Go, go, go. Start, begin. Or if you like, you can look first by minutes can be a long time. Now we've got some great negative space. You can use that. Really nice triangle here. If you can see that, that will help. Look at the length of the torso. In relation to the leg. How much longer is the leg next to the torso? In fact, on this side, look at this side. Relation to the length of this leg. The legs are a little bit more than twice as long as the torso. On this side, look. It's almost the length of this torso. Does that help? I can see a little bit. Nothing. Oh, well. Hi, Janice, come on in, take a seat. Welcome. Glad you made it. This is a 5-minute pose. So you'll have time for some warm up today. And there's a nice twist to his hips in this pose. See, you're getting tired, Bill. It's almost at the minute mark. Teresa was smart. She warmed up sketching Bill first, and now she's looking at the photo. We have that option too. Any of you who brought photos, or those of you at home who are working, that's always an option. You can do your warm-up sketches looking at Bill. And then if you want to switch to the other assignment. Yeah. In 15 seconds.
No, I'm good. I didn't think I could stick from. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
one more 5 minutes and then we'll do a stretch break.
Sure.
Yes, sit down. These are great, though. Looks like we've had more time for warm up today, which is really good. Those of you who've done blind consort, you can always opt to do a blind consort. Even in a 5-minute pose, you can start with blind consort and then switch. Next week, I'm going to do this with blind consort. Good wide. Begin, everybody. This is a 5-minute pose. Start with that quick gesture. Elbows are really gonna help you. Shirley, I'm looking at the chair legs. You're right.
Sorry?
The chair legs.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, thank you so much.
They're weirdly short.
It made me happy now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Taller than mine. Then the tilt to shoulders, slanting down to the right. This back is definitely slanted towards the right. Elbow is chest height. And the other elbow is waist height. Try and only draw what you can see. If the edge of the table is blocking your view of his legs, only draw the part of his legs that you can see. Don't make it up. Draw the edge of the table. Worry about the details. Just draw the whole figure. So Bill, after the stretching, we'll do some 10 minutes.
Sure.
Maybe I'll sit with you. Maybe we'll do it together. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
On having to buy it, but that would work.
Oh, you want to talk?
Maybe I should pose. Hard. What's in the hard?
here's my advice, when we do the longer poses, if you're still doing the head, by the time I say 1 minute is left, then you're not really looking at the figure. You need to try and get everything down to the feet. That's my goal for this. And even if it looks funny and weird, I don't care. I want you to get away from trying to do the details. It's more important that you do the full figure. All right, everybody should take a stretch break. This is very intense work. Stand up, wiggle your arms, wiggle your fingers. That's your focus. That's exactly what I want you to do. Actually, I felt like the way I was breath. Good. And the more you do this, the easier it will become, and the less you're going to be thinking about it. And saying things like, oh my God, I can't do that. You're gonna start letting go of that. Yeah, you can take a short break, like 3 or 4 minutes. And then we're gonna do a 10-minute pose after break.
Then go around. Just to focus on.
Everybody looks like that.
Well, it's up to you, because I've offered it in the past. I'm just letting you know. It's your call. You know. I mean, while you're here.
I'll put it in the mix.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
yeah, no pressure, but I'm saying. For the-
Sure.
Really? Yeah, at the end, I said, she said, hey, pick one and work on it. That's what I said. Yeah.
We will have whatever. All right, I'll keep it that way.
All right, guys, I think we should get back into it. Hey, Donna. No, I'm gonna sit down. I'm in the chair. This is gonna be a 10-minute.
Another chair?
Oh, wow.
Another chair?
Yeah, how about a candle?
And before we begin, next week for the Tuesday class, if you have your own sketchbook, if you wouldn't mind bringing it for Bill's session, and anyone who knows the layout of the supply closet at the multipurpose center would be willing to come and help Bill set up. You know, have notes where everything is. Thank you.
How's this?
All the art supplies are in the cupboards on the right. You walk in, everything on the right hand side.
Stop singing.
You just have to put that one desk back. You know what I'm talking about? The woman who works in that office, you have to put her desk. Okay. On the right, exactly.
We're not using the TV this time.
Probably not up in the great pictures.
Okay, let's begin. As always, I want you to do the full figure. You can do both of us or one of us. It's completely up to you. 10. Light outline first, go back to darken, to shadow, and details at the end. Look at where Bill's hand is. And just next to my shoulder. That will help you see how long his forearm is. The top of my head is. Next to his chest and shoulder. Where my nuts are. On my arms.
Well, she's expecting things.
I'm gonna check on his folks at home, Bill, while you arrange yourself. In the next pose, and I would like this to be a 20-minute. Do a really, really, really long pose, and then we're gonna do a temperature check at the end of this one to see if people want to share or keep working till the end of it. Okay? Does that work? Yes. Good. Everybody at home, how are you doing? Robin, you have a question? Unmute.
We're just saying everything's okay.
Thank you. Good to hear. Vanessa, you good? Doris, you good?
Doing good, thank you.
Dan? Lauren and Margot, you still with us?
Yeah, we're with you. We're struggling.
Oh, you need some advice?
Just both need some practice with foreshortening.
Make it bigger.
Okay.
That's the trick. Enlarge, bigger than life. All right.
Thank you. We're having fun. That's
Well,
what-
they're good. There are 10 at-home people. Awesome. All right,
But you gotta see the drawings they did.
I'm gonna come around.
Fantastic.
I'm thrilled with,
You wanna do another one?
yeah, we're gonna try for a 20-minute. It's gonna put us a little over the amount of sharing time we usually have, but I think it's gonna be worth it. All right, as always, start with the quick sketch. Try and block out the entire figure. And people on this side, you do have quite a bit of foreshortening. On Heather, Pat, Essie, and Shirley's side, make that foot, the bottom of this foot big. Real elephant pop. The first one. Next week, and then Here, give it to me. I'll put it on the back. Don't worry about details yet. Don't do the eyes yet. Everybody notice the width of his shoulders, please. Everybody look. The headline from the bottom of his neck to the edge of his shoulder. Susie. Susie, come big. Okay. Excellent. Do not be trying things like his eyes are there yet. But the pattern on his shirt. You're blocking in the figure. figure. Not doing portraits. We're gonna do portraits, the final class. Look at favorite hockey. So those people holding the pencil loosely, you're doing the right thing. Left slant, but it's left knee. Simplest poses are the best. Thank you.
closer. Yeah. I'm not sure it's the line. I think it may, because of the way it's spelled. It may be out for the time. Well, you're right. The way it's spelled, it makes it distorted. But look at the negative shift. Right. Try and see the negative. Bill, you're under 10 minutes. Now we're under 10 minutes on this pose, everyone. Out of 15? Out of 20. This is a 20-minute pose. Oh, something in the chat. Oh, thank you, Laura.
Liz, I have to head out.
Oh, sorry, Vanessa.
I know, I wish I could stay.
Hold up your picture.
I will. It's a little dark. I'm sorry. Let's see if I could put it here. So this one from just now. And then this one, I used charcoal.
Oh, nice. That's brave of you.
Yeah, it was a challenge, especially this one was a tough one for me.
Yeah, these are great proportion. Really good. This last one, the head is just teeny bit too big.
Too big, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of class. So yeah, this is terrific. Well done.
Thanks.
Love it. All right. Hopefully see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you, Liz.
And send me JPEGs if you want.
All right, I will.
We can have a more in-depth conversation.
Say that again.
If you want, send me JPEGs and we can have a more in-depth conversation.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Look at
Bye.
all the beautiful art on your walls.
Oh, thanks. Still working on that one.
Love it.
Thank you.
All right. How do we get Bill back on the screen, Laura? Where is Bill? There we go. Thank you. Wish we could do a 3-hour class. It's ironic. I feel like we're all starting to really warm up now. Oh, yeah, you could fill out the survey. Yeah. We would have to start at 9. I don't know. Another class. Evening or afternoon, I would put Wednesday night. Do not work. Okay. Yeah, we have that option, I guess, folks. Before you leave, fill in the questionnaire. You want a longer class or another class?
The 10 o'clock time frame is a little tricky because the library only opens at 10.
Correct.
So afternoon would be kind of cool.
Yeah, people used to love the afternoon. Yeah, I think we.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good.
Decided it was.
You don't love it anymore?
I love it, but never lost the afternoon club. And we did the afternoon classes sometimes even bigger because there were a lot of people who, are not early morning patrol. Then we have to check in with the list. That makes us speaking more first. I'm willing to consider. Really seeing it now, see if it is. Really good. Is that because of Almost at the end, Bill. Sorry. We'll try to be in this pose. Yeah. Mine's still in mine. Great. All right, so we have, we have 20 minutes left. And I would like to take a vote. There's a lot to be said for sharing and getting affirmation from your fellow classmates. I love that. Or we can ask Bill to do one more long pose. So I'm going to ask the folks at home first. Can you hear me? If you would like to continue drawing, just please give me a thumbs up. Although I can't see, Lauren and Margot, you're going to have to give me a verbal.
We are here.
Would you prefer drawing or sharing?
Drawing.
Okay. And Doris, did you hear me? Can you want to draw or share?
Draw, please.
And Robin, draw or share?
Share. I'm tired from the drawing. I loved it, but it was exhausting.
Okay. So we're gonna let Doris share, and then folks here, drawing or sharing? Didn't I say Robin? Sorry, I meant Robin. We're gonna let Robin share. Folks here, drawing or sharing? Raise your hand if you want to draw. No pressure. That majority rules for drawing. Robin, I'm going to put you on spotlight. And then Bill, we're going to ask you to pose again. Thanks, Laura. So Robin, can you show your work, please? Thanks, Bill. Oh, wow. Look, your lines are getting more and more fluid, Robin. Wow. Do you have it? Oh, look at this one. This is fantastic. I want you to work on this one more, okay? You're muted. Really, really, really good, Robin. Well, I can see why you're so tired. You've been working hard.
Yes, but I will work more on the other one that you mentioned. So
It's really outstanding, that one, the one where he's standing up with his arms akimbo. Well done.
yes, I really like that one. Yes. So
All right.
thank you, Gail, and everyone.
If you just want to, sit back and watch now, you earned it.
I will. Thank you.
You did great today, Robin. All right, Bill?
Yeah.
So we're going to do one final pose since the majority of folks, want to keep drawing. And I'm going to spotlight Bill.
How long?
It's a little bit less than 20 minutes. So it's an 18-minute baby. You might want to try something different now, folks. If you've been sitting a long time, you might want to stand up. I like drawing the figure standing up because I feel as if I have more control over my work when I stand up. So try it for a change of pace. Or if your style is to draw small, you might want to try and draw really large. Use a whole big sheet of paper. Or if you always draw large, try drawing small. Do something fresh and new. Let's begin. Oh my gosh, Bill. You hold this for that length of time, kid. All right. Beautiful negative spaces in it. Right, Ron, is standing up for a change of pace. It should move to get a different point of view. Anybody can do that. I love that you cannot see Bill's face. Do not have the pressure to get hung up on the features of his face in this one.
It's easier when it's you.
The elbows and knees are in just beautiful juxtaposition. Love the shape of his feet in this pose. Over his elbows. Know whether to do top of his head, right over the tips of his toes. That's a big. So look at this, everybody. Head right over the tips of his toes. Left on.
Oh my God, his head keeps getting lower.
The God's in your will. It's the direct line. In the chat, or someone has. Did someone have something to say? At home?
We love you.
Aw. Me more you. And Suzanne, again, I forgot to ask, Bill, next week, can you wear light colored pants? Yeah. Apparently, it's easier to see your legs if you wear you should wear light colored clothing if possible.
I have green, white, pink, or khaki,
Yeah, something like that.
and a light shirt.
Thank you.
How about my socks?
Socks are great.
Oh, God,
Light. She just said it's easier to see light colored clothing at home. Exactly.
not bad. Feels like a yogurt cookie.
Um, yeah, that's the one. But that's all. Yeah.
I'm done. You can wake up.
I'm gonna like stop it for another 5 minutes.
Let's stop.
I forgot about my life.
Yeah, that's really good.
Sorry. That was a 5 minutes.
You're willing. We'll just do another short 5 minutes. You can draw right on top of the last one. No, ridiculous.
That's drawing.
We don't want that. It's not art. And as soon as we're done with this process, clean up, 1, 2, 3. We worked hard for that. I have you on now. Teresa, great work for that. Those of you who want to draw, it's not quite. All right. last minute check-in, folks at home? Anybody want to show me quickly? No? Okay, you can send me JPEGs. What a great class. Awesome. Oh, yeah, everybody can hold up their work. Look at Margot's.
That's
me.
Lauren's. There's Margot's. You see it?
Oh, awesome. That was Lauren's. Oh, look how good that is.
It's
Well
okay.
done. Love it. That was the hardest pose of the day. You did great.
Thank you.
The one before, a little more
Doris, I love yours. Yeah, look at that, Margot. I'm gonna now spotlight Doris. Thanks for sharing, Margot.
Thank you.
Doris, wow.
Wow, that's great. Like
Look
how
at
you
the
do it.
proportion.
This was a hard one.
Yeah, that was the hardest pose. And Lizzie, were you trying to show something? Thanks, Doris. You're doing great. Lizzie. Wow, Lizzie, I'm so thrilled because look at this. Awesome. Love the use of shading is great. And I like the dark outline.
Getting there. That was hard.
Yeah, that pose was very hard.
Mm.
You did great. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for another great class.
Goodbye for now. And if you want to send me JPEGs, you can always do so. And I'm happy to give you advice throughout the week. Bye for now. See you next week.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a great week, guys.
You too. Lauren, I can't wait to see you again. Bye.
Bye.
Me
Bye,
too.
Margo. Bye-bye.
Bye.